Slay's not mad.
I've really never seen you mad, I don't think.
Really?
No, you see me mad.
I've seen you mad.
You just don't recall.
Oh.
In a game.
I get pissed in the game.
Hey, look, there's a Hitman. Blaine Bishop's here.
I decided to make this a foursome. Instead of a threesome, man. A foursome, man.
Welcome in, Hitman.
Yeah, man, it's cool to be back on 3HL, man, hanging out with y'all, man.
What's happening, big man?
Oh, man, I'm just hanging in there, man. My allergies are jacked.
Dude,
Really?
Man, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what it is, but I've been taking some little Alka-Seltzer things or something.
Yeah, I think I used
myself together.
I think I used my wife's, scented shower gel. You know, that's what did it.
Is that what did it?
Yeah, I think so. It set me off. I feel like it just. I'm like, how does this just start out of nowhere?
The scented shower gel.
I do not use any scented nothing. No.
What are you doing, Blake?
They have all kind of toxins in them. No. No, my nose is just real sensitive. I have bad allergies.
I think we all
I can't do anything
in the South.
I can't even wear cologne or nothing, man.
Nothing. You're just out here.
Nah.
What about deodorant?
Yeah, I definitely do that.
But they got all natural deodorant.
I mean, I don't do it every day.
I do.
So,
Yeah.
And that's what I use. All natural deodorant.
Did you know Babsy forgets sometimes?
And lotion.
yeah, I forget sometimes.
Forget the what?
Put deodorant on. Yeah.
Oh, that's because you're rushing.
Yes.
Your mind is working at miles a minute. You know,
And I
get
forget.
it. I get it.
But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't ever smell.
Every now and then I may forget. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody have to admit they forget every now and then.
Executive producer at 3HL is Zeph. What up, Zeph?
What's up?
All right, so the Titans signed at safety, Jamal Adams. Can he still go? Injury problems. That's why we brought you in here, Hitman.
We need
I don't know.
expertise.
Because a lot of people are freaking out due to the injury concerns and all this stuff, and I just wanted to, we all did, want to get your take on Jamal Adams because, man, that dude was a stud at LSU.
Yeah, he was.
High pick.
6.
Was a stud with the Jets.
Yeah.
Stud with the Seahawks. And then he ran into some injury problems, but he's only 28 years old. It seems like he's like 35 to me, but what do you think about the Titans signing Jamal Adams at safety?
Man, let's first start. Everybody remembers the LSU. We're here in the SEC, right?
Yep.
And so I go, oh, man, he was a bad man. And I remember him with the Jets. Then I went and looked him up. I didn't even notice about him. His dad was the 19th pick of the NFL draft in 1985 as a running back by the New York Giants, George Adams. And I go, dang, I don't remember him.
19.
And guess who the fullback was?
Who?
Make a guess for Babs. I know you're going to get this one without knowing nothing. Just think who played for the New York Giants that you know right here in Tennessee.
See, I was about to say oldest.
Ran Carthon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he started. Oh, Google. Let's Google lying to me.
All the time.
They go down to the family tree on.
Yeah,
Google's your friend.
Yeah.
So Ram was his fullback.
His dad's fullback. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his dad's fullback. And Denard, so a
And
family
he
thing.
went to Kentucky, by the way.
And Denard Wilson was his defense coordinator with the Jets.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, Steve Jackson, who's on the staff? Who's my backup teammate?
Steve Jackson.
Yeah. Steve Jackson was the safety coach there, too.
It's funny how all those things come back around.
That's why I tell you don't burn. That's why I tell you don't burn.
So y'all was
bridges, too.
always thinking about Vrabel and his relationship. This is definitely about a relationship and to see if somebody can rekindle that magic that they had once before. Not just him, but them.
So that's what I want to ask you. He was a bad A back, back then and a little bit for the Seahawks, and then it all fell off. And I know part of it was injury. I get that. But there was also maybe some attitude, frustration problems with him, not a team guy, more of a me guy at that point too. Like, how can this situation, you talked about those relationships maybe, rekindle that and rekindle him? I mean, like, can he be back to a level? It's never going to be what he was in the beginning,
I don't think
right?
so. Right.
28.
28, it's always going to be a pattern here because he's gotten injured over the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, but man, hey, before that, he was a bad MFer. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, this guy was different. And so
there you are.
Yeah, there I am too. So there's 2 of me. That'd be bad, boy. Ooh, 2 of me. But, you just never know how a player will recover, especially from a quad injury. In any injury, we all play sports here, so it's just tough. But if he can rekindle any portion of that, let's say get to 90% and stay consistently healthy, he will bring an attitude to this defense. Not to say that it doesn't already have attitude. This guy is different. When he plays with this, I don't give a you know what, and I'm about to you know what you. And he has this
very
way
Blaine
about him.
Bishop-like.
Yeah, I would say he was very comparable, but he's got to rekindle that. Now, he's going to have a comfort level, as you mentioned, with some of the people he knows. That's going to help him. There's some confidence behind your play when you know your coach has got your back, even if you get toasted. For a touchdown, or you're not worried about somebody yanking you, doing something, or coming over, hey, what happened, in a derogatory way. So I think there's confidence in that too as well. But he's going to have to prove
they know
it.
how to handle him.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Here, I'm going to say this. I think I like all those things about him. Here, as all of us being athletes at the same time, he had his first failure probably when he got benched. Think about that now. We've all been there,
in his
sitting there.
entire career.
Right.
Yeah.
And he didn't handle it right. He didn't. I'm sorry. There's just no way around it. And he just said, hey, man, I'm not showing up then. He didn't think about his teammates. He thought about himself. Now, they're somewhat diva, and that's why you are that sixth pick of the draft. When you're that high level of a player, there comes with an air of confidence, cockiness, ego that you got to have, and that's how you got there. And then that fell off a cliff right when somebody said, hey, man, we bench you right now.
Yeah.
You're not healthy. You're not helping the team. And he didn't know how to handle it. Now, it's not always about how you failed. It's how you respond to that failure. Now,
That's right.
He did a bad job.
We all fail.
At that moment. Right. At some point in time. So now this is his response to show that I am back. They may get lightning in a bottle just this 1 year if he can stay healthy, because now he's got to prove that I'm back and I'm better than I was before. See? So I don't know if that's going to happen, but if I was putting money on it, listening to him on the OTP, with Mike Keith talking about it's been a 180 on his health.
Yeah.
I was like, this could be
so
that.
So if he can be healthy, he can do that.
Okay.
Well, I'm curious, when you played, when did you, and I hate talking about this, but it happens to every great athlete, but when did you feel the decline? Like, how old were you when you started to know that you had to do things differently because your body wasn't what it was?
It's funny. You know what? No one has ever asked me that.
Really?
And no. And I would say that my last year in Philly. Because
and how old were
I got
you then?
injured. I was 33.
Okay.
All right. So when I was with the Titans, I had never been injured for an extensive period of time. So I got put on IR. I only played 5 games.
You had been injured, but you played through a lot of stuff that a lot of guys won't play through.
I had to miss
now.
games. I had a Liz Frank injury in my foot.
Oof.
And
Which is so
you had a
painful.
club on your hand.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I did all that. But I could still run.
What did you do? You broke your wrist or something?
Well, no, I broke my forearm. I got to play
broke your forearm, and then you missed what? 1 game or no games?
Yeah, 1.
1 game.
Yeah. But so
no dude is doing that now.
I thought it was then. I really thought, here's what happened. I thought I could still do all the things that I wanted to do in the game and be successful. But my body's recovery time took longer, and it scared the living crap out of me. And when I say that, I'm talking about now I didn't come into practice on Wednesday feeling, I'm fresh, I'm ready to go. No, it started taking till Saturday. Where I felt like, I got this engine ready to rock and roll. And then when it wasn't on Saturday, I'm going, And it was because I felt like it was colder there in Philly. I had to make sure I got out there and I got warmed up, greased up. I mean, like I was wearing tights. I was making sure. So it wasn't about that I felt like I declined. It was about my body's recovery time.
Was slower.
It was way slower.
Yeah.
Like even when I was with the Titans the last year, I would say Wednesday, then I felt fine. Mm-hmm. It just went into a whole nother gear, and I was like, oh my, this is different. And that was scary for me.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was always going to be that guy. I was somewhat the overachiever, and I was really using my brains more than anything else. So if I lost a step, nobody could really see it. But then if I don't feel comfortable going into that game, like I just talked about Jamal Adams, feeling comfortable with the staff, that's a different feeling, and there's a confidence that goes with that as an athlete. So, Yeah, that was probably the fear. And, going into that last year of my career, I said if I had to have another surgery, that this was going to be my last year. I promised my wife that. And I tore my groin. I never pulled a muscle before in my life. And then I tore my groin off the bone in the AFC Championship game. And I kept playing and felt like I was running in quicksand out there. But, I take my pants off and then my whole leg is black.
Oh, my gosh.
Black. It was like, I think I heard something.
Okay, so he's 5 years younger than you were dealing with those things. Yeah. So when you look at his numbers, if he's injury free, he's productive as crap.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm gonna say about his age, and a lot of people talk about it because I think he's 28.
28, yeah.
When you're a safety and you've done what he's done and you've seen pretty much everything, this is when you're peaking. Now, I'm not saying he is peaking, but as far as mentally at 28, you think there is nothing that you haven't seen and there's nothing that you can't do on this field and that you can't accomplish. And I guarantee you, being the sixth pick of the draft, he got that feeling. So, if he thinks his health is a 180 compared to last year.
So going on top of that, if you had to guess, would you think that this guy comes in with a chip on his shoulder?
Boy. And that's what's going to be with that kind of talent. And if he's anywhere close to what he was when he's with the Jets, he could be. This could be something really special, something we haven't seen in a long,
because you would think
a
quad injury over time, you would get over that, and it would be 100%.
At some point,
right?
Here, when I listen to him on the OTP,
it's better than a hammy.
Because he hasn't played since December, so we're 7 months, 8 months almost.
Well, when I was listening to him right there at the end on the OTP, he played it. It sounded like he came back too soon, which we all do, which in the end gets us in the end.
Especially when you're pushing.
Yep. And then he had the big contract. I'm Jamal Adams. Yep. I got to show them. He probably played too soon, and then he was really still rehabbing and trying to play within a week's time, and that's just impossible. And, I know people who was on the, the staff there, they said he was really rehabbing throughout each week, and they didn't know if he was going to be able to play every week.
Right.
So it wasn't really ever healed enough to where he could be consistently out there on a game in, game out basis, which is unfortunate. But, we've all been there as athletes and we try to play through things. Some things you just can't play through. And trust me, I had to learn some of that myself.
Things, Titans,
especially at that position, right?
Signed safety Jamal Adams. Hitman. Hitman Blaine Bishop staying over a little bit. So we had Michael Griffin on the other day, and you and I had a conversation with Mike in a parking lot in Brentwood one time about his comfort level at safety with all of the interchangeable pieces that were going on next to him. Yeah, right? And so, like he said, when Chris Hope was there, he did his job. He knew he was going to do his job, and everything was good. But then he rolled through the litany of safeties. Like he just named like 12 dudes in like a 2-year period that were next to him, and it was hard. So I'm curious.
I didn't even remember we're on the roster.
Right. And so
and that's when I was like covering the team.
Or what was his name?
Oh, yeah. He didn't mention him, but yes, he was. But remember, he was getting criticized, and you and I were doing a show together, and he was getting criticized by fans and stuff like that, and he never really said anything. No. And so it was good to have that conversation, just to kind of have a backdrop. You already knew, but it was good for me. But I'm curious from an Amani Hooker standpoint. Now he gets a veteran next to him that knows he's going to know the defense and knows what to do. How much freedom does that give Amani Hooker?
Well, it gives you relief. And what happens is, I had my Batman and Robin was me and Mark Robin. When I lost him, it was a little bit, and then I got injured. So then it was like, oh, my. So what happens is you feel like everybody's on the same page because they're going to handle one side of the field. You got the other side of the field. And so you make sure everybody's on the same page, and we can just look at each other and we know what we doing and we got everything handled. And so that's kind of another form of trust and telepathy, I would call it, when you just looking at other guys and you've been playing with them long enough, you can just feel and read and play off of one another even when they don't do their job. And that is a great feeling. So I think Hooker can then be free to be more of a ball hawk type guy, I think, and play kind of more that role. He is multi-talented, by the way. Hooker, I've liked him from day one. Some about those Iowa guys. As soon as he came into the league and you start having conversations with him, he had a high IQ. Yeah. So that's where it all starts. And he had seen a lot, and I guess it's the way they teach there. They're going against pro-style offenses a lot of times and the way they teach over there at Iowa. And he came in NFL ready immediately. So he can cover the slot. He can play deep middle. He has great ball skills. He's a good tackler. All he has to do is stay healthy too. So if he can stay healthy and, and be out there most of the time, let me say that, maybe miss a game here or two or there. But, he's out there. I think Hooker can probably have his best season with someone like Jamal Adams out there.
So circling back around to it, I think coming out of that, when Mike Keith posted him, what is he going to bring to the game? And one of his things he said was leadership. It's not many times as a professional you get a second chance to go improve in a comfortable situation like what you were saying. So that's why I was thinking, and you tell me if I'm wrong, when you're looking at him and he's coming in, he's already put that spotlight on him. So it's almost a show and prove. It ain't really much to talk about. Let me get out here and show my work. And I think a lot of guys with that competitive edge like him that's trying to get back thrive under those circumstances.
I would think you know a little bit about sports.
I'm just saying. I would love that.
He's going to lead by example, and then he's going to back it up with his talk and his action. So that's who he is. Yeah. And I think they like that, and I think they really brought him here because of that attitude. Yeah. When I say that, it's nothing against any other guys. And I'm just talking about Hooker. Do you feel like he's the type of guy, when you get out on the football field, there's a point in time you got to say, I'm going to F that dude up. Right. I'm not playing today, and today is not that day. And I just don't see Hooker being like that guy. Yeah. But guess what? I know Jamal Adams is. Yeah. And it comes with that. People, when you're coming into that game, you know that. And he's going to back it up, and he's a talker. I wasn't a big talker. I'm just, let's play ball. We're going to play hard, and I'm not going to get nobody upset out here because I don't know what they can bring to the table. Because I don't want nobody upsetting me. So I know what level I'm going to.
You always said it was kind of a waste of energy.
Yeah, it was a waste of energy, all of that. Yeah. So I just think he brings that, and his leadership is going to start with the way he plays.
There you go.
And his comfort in the coaching staff, in the secondary, as well as, his ability to understand this defense and what they want.
And you're looking at the guys that they brought in. All of them have that attitude when you're talking about bringing that culture.
They all have the same mindset.
Like all of them got the same. Yeah.
It's going to be an attacking style defense, which is going to be fun to watch. Now, it's going to be some hit or misses, by the way. Oh, yeah. This defense is actually a lot of the stuff that we ran when I was playing. And that's why I get chill bumps, because it's going to be fun to watch because they going to get after it. And so it's going to be interesting. And they don't have all the pieces. We had all the pieces. It all came together right there in 99, 2000. They don't have all the pieces yet, but you can see the pieces. They're a couple pieces away, and they'll be right there.
They definitely don't have the depth.
Yeah, they don't have the depth. They don't have the freak. Yeah. That was the final piece. That was a critical piece, by the way.
You've said that forever. Oh my gosh, I don't have to cover people for 5 seconds anymore.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. I had to learn how to not backpedal.
While y'all were talking,
what? I don't have to backpedal.
While y'all were talking, they were showing Jamal Adams highlight clips, and it was all him coming through in the run game into the backfield.
Yeah. Did you see? I saw a highlight. I was watching so much video of him earlier today. He hit Najee Harris this one time with just his head. And I was like, and he depleted Najee Harris. Najee Harris is a big dude.
Boy, and like the run behind his fans, too.
I'm like, man, and he didn't see him, but he saw him. And it was like, oh, there's no way he's bringing the hammer like that. And I mean, just that alone is going to bring a whole different physicality to this defense. If he is 85% of that, man, the sky's the limit for what he can do and what this defense is going to look like.
Well, I appreciate you. We all do hanging out because
this is fun, man.
You start perspective. They sign him, and then you look at social media, and everybody's like, "Well, he can't do this, and he can't do that."
And it's all predicated on if he stays healthy.
Right?
No doubt.
But I appreciate you bringing from a safety's perspective what this guy does and brings. So
I appreciate his game a lot, and I remember. I have to say this. I remember when he was playing with the Jets. And I always talk to coaches that I know that play with me or against me, that they know what I represent and how I played. And I called, somebody's on the staff, but when he was with the Jets, and said, hey, man, what's up with Jamal? He said, oh, hey, this dude is legit. I said, hey, man, so what's up with him, though? What's up? This how, you talking to a coach, like, who actually play with me, and I talked him into being a coach. And because he used to mess with me talking about
he's already been mentioned before on the show.
So he goes, oh, I know what you asked me. Is Jamal better than you? I said, yeah, I just want to know what is he like.
I know why you're calling.
He said, yeah, he may bring the hammer just a little bit. He said, but his cover skills ain't better than yours.
Yeah.
But also then I asked him
That's
again.
not his thing.
I said, well, what safety was better than me? He said, oh, hands down, it's easy. This dude would have been a Hall of Famer, but he's not alive. I said, he said Sean Taylor was a
He could have been the best
He said
ever.
he would have been the best. He said he would eclipse Ronnie Lott. He said he would have been that kind of dude. He said there was nothing that he couldn't do exceptionally well. I was like, wow.
Not just good, exceptional.
Yeah, he said exceptionally well. Cover, ball hawk skills, tackling, didn't matter. Whatever they asked him, he could do it. He said it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Man,
There he is, the Hitman, Blaine Bishop. Catch him 1 to 3 every day on 104.5 The Zone. Thank you, BB.
Appreciate
Good
it,
stuff.
guys.
Be pizzle for
Appreciate
shizzle.
it. Yeah.